Hey y'all. Today we are going to be moving through a lunge series sequence. This is a sequence where we will focus on not only stretching and lengthening the side bodies, but some strength and twists as well. So you can begin your practice coming into child's pose. You can keep your knees together if your tension or tightness is more in your low back. You can choose to take your knees wide, even as wide as your mat, if you notice tightness in your hips or want to give the hips a little more love in this shape. You can reach your palms forward. You can connect the space between your brow to your mat. As you arrive into this shape, begin to notice your breath. Taking 5 rounds of deep breath here. Right, allowing your breath to move through your belly, your ribs, all the way into the chest. And then let your exhalation be slow, steady, and even. Taking 3 more rounds of breath here. You might activate that Ujjayi breath on your exhale. Further giving our body that message that it's okay to rest, that it's okay to slow down here. Right? And that Ujjayi breath is that slight constriction at the back of the throat, almost like we're gargling breath. Breath that sounds like the wave of the ocean. After 5 rounds of breath here, on an inhale, press into your palms. Rise into your tabletop shape. Before we get into the sequence, let's warm our spine. Let's warm the body a little bit. Beginning with cat-cows, on an inhale, we'll lower the belly. We'll lift the heart, the hips, the gaze, if your neck feels okay with it. And then with your exhalation, pressing your mat away, rounding fully from the top of the head all the way to the tailbone. Inhale, lowering your belly, letting your heart, your hips, your gaze lift. Exhale, round as you press your mat away, puffing through the top of your back. We'll take 3 more rounds here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. We'll just walk our hands back and come to high knees. Feel free as we step into our lunges to take the shape from downward facing dog. I'm going to come to kneeling. It makes it a little more accessible for all levels. So when you feel ready, just stepping that right foot forward. Right, and you want to track that top knee over the ankle. But again, you also want to feel the stretch into the hips. So you might shimmy that right foot a little more forward. If you are enjoying that stretch to the top of your left leg, you can shimmy that left knee a little further back. Right, just find a place where you feel that release of the hips. The pelvis begins to sink down. You can take your fingertips or palms to frame your foot. You can also have blocks, props, or even books here as your props to support your hands if they don't come all the way to the floor. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath here. Each round of breath, notice a deeper sense of release of the pelvis pressing downward. With our next inhale, let's sweep our arms overhead. Exhale, pelvis anchoring down. Soften your shoulders into the sockets. With your next inhale, begin to articulate your wrists. Right, really exploring that full range of motion of the wrist joint. Moving with mindfulness, moving with intention, maybe noticing the pops, the cracks. Right, we're going to be here 2 more rounds of breath. Again, as we move through this sequence, if you come back to it, feel free to linger longer anywhere that feels good. But for this particular practice, I'll be cueing 3 to 5 rounds of breath. All right, we're here for one more. Take another inhale here. And then exhale, return your hands to your mat or to the floor. Next inhale, open your right arm to the sky. Full extension here. And with your exhalation, we're going to circle this top arm 3 big circles. Link this rotation with your breath. Inhale, we'll meet with that right arm to the sky after 3 circles for 2 more rounds of breath here. Really anchor your feet firmly into your mat. With your next inhale, we're going to float the arms overhead. Right, this left arm is going to come beside that left ear. This right hand can come behind you to the back side of your body, maybe even that back thigh. Using your breath to really expand into those front left ribs. Take another inhale here. With your exhalation, we'll add a twist. Right, linking the elbow to the thigh or the knee. Big belly breathing in our twist. Let's take 4 more rounds. Remembering that your breath is your anchor to the present moment in this practice. Right, your mind will wander, and perhaps many times, but we have that commitment for this short duration of time just to return to our breath. Right, if it makes you feel better, you can remember that all those thoughts, all those to-do lists, those priorities, they'll all be waiting for you at the end of this practice. So let's just put them down for now. Let's take a big another inhale together. This time with our exhale, let's unwind. We'll touch our mat. Just slide your right hip back. We'll add a little flow here. With an inhale, we'll step back into the right foot. Let the pelvis press down and forward. Exhale to slide it back, straighten the leg. Maybe you take a little bow. Inhale to come back forward. Exhale, slide that right hip back, half split. Right, your fingertips might make it all the way to the floor, but they also might be on blocks or books if you don't have blocks. You might take another inhale here. Imagine you're lengthening from the base of your spine to the top of your head. And then with your exhale, maintaining that length, perhaps bowing a little more forward. Directing the top of our head to those right toes. You might be actively flexing your foot. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath here. All right, next inhale, let's step back into the right foot. We're coming back forward to our lunge. We're going to heel toe that right foot towards the edge of our mat. You can be on your left palm, you can be on your left fingertips. Again, you can have a block here to support as well. We'll take the right hand to the thigh or the knee. Gentle with your knee if you're choosing that place. On an inhale, roll to the blade edge, the long side edge of that right foot. Wing the knee, rotate the heart. Taking 3 rounds of breath here. Take an inhale here. With your exhale, we're just going to roll back to the sole of that right foot. We're going to hinge our back knee. We'll place that right hand inside of the right foot. If you like to heel toe it slightly to the left, feel free to do so. With your next inhale, let's sweep that left arm forward, beginning to circle here. Open this arm back up to the sky. This is a mini side angle. Right, take an inhale here. With your exhale, take your hand behind your neck. Inhale, lift the elbow closer to the sky. And then exhale, lower your elbow towards that right hand. Again, if it feels better in your body and you want to have the right hand on a block, you can. You could also have the elbow to the thigh. All right, inhale, let's take the elbow back to the sky. Open the heart, open that top wing. Exhale, elbow back towards the earth. Let's take 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, let's lift the elbow to the sky. Exhale to straighten it. Take another inhale here. Exhale, return the arm beside the ear, palm is facing down. Next inhale, we're going to windmill the arms to the opposite side of the mat. We're going to take those right toes towards the long side edge of our mat. So coming in to a modified side plank. Ground the blade edge of your right foot. Engage that right quadricep. Nice strong line of energy moves from the blade edge of the foot to the top fingertips. 2 more rounds of breath here. Next inhale, let's rainbow the arms to gate pose. Strong core, take your time, move with intention. Right, that right hand's gonna rest gently on the right leg. Top arm is beside the ear, palm is facing down. 3 rounds of breath. Next inhale, windmill the arms. We're gonna come back to this modified side plank. Feel free to stay just as you are. Option to add on here, you can work on balance by just floating the right leg. Right, if you want to add a back bend, right, half bow pose, you can reach for the foot or the ankle. Right, once you have that grip, if you're choosing this variation, press the foot into the hand. Let's take 3 rounds of breath. One more inhale together. Exhale, gently release. You might take another inhale in your side plank. Exhale, return to tabletop, facing the back of your mat now. We'll give our spine a little reset. Let's move through some cat-cows. Again, choose your journey here. You might be returning to cat-cows, continuing to link your movement with your breath. You might find that it feels good in your body to explore our alternative ways of moving the spine. If it feels good in your body and you prefer, feel free to take a downward facing dog. Right, just a few moments in between the sides to move in a way that feels good, to move in a way that feels nourishing, perhaps even fun. Right, when I'm flowing and practicing at home on my own, I usually always have a really good playlist on. Sometimes that inspires some creative movement. That's the part that perhaps feels fun, at least for me. All right, let's take that other side again. Feel free to step into a down dog if you want to take it from that way. This time we're stepping the left foot forward. Right, and you can see if I'm taking a lunge in this way, really not much is happening into my hips and into the pelvis. So we want to feel that sensation. So again, maybe that left foot can shimmy more forward, mindful of tracking your knee over the ankle. Maybe you want a really deep stretch into the top of that right leg, again, sliding that right knee back. You might choose to have a blanket here to support that back knee, right? When you feel ready, just imagine your exhale is allowing the pelvis to sink down a little more. This shape can be taken with hands on the knees, right? Sometimes that additional traction, a little bit of weight can feel really nice. I'm going to take my hands to frame this left foot. Again, palms, fingertips, or maybe blocks or books here. Continuing to notice the pelvis releasing and softening. 2 more rounds of breath here. All right, next inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, pelvis still pressing down, soften the shoulders into their sockets. Right, you might add that circle of the wrist joints here. Linking movement with breath. Right, you could also be still. 2 more rounds of breath here. Take another inhale. Exhale, let's return our hands to our mat. Inhale, left arm to the sky, little twist. This time with your exhale, circling that left arm, 3 big circles here. Full range of motion, we're moving from our shoulder. After your 3 big circles, we'll land in our twist for 2 more rounds of breath. Strong core, anchor your feet firmly. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Right's going to come towards the sky and beside that right ear. Left's just going to come behind you. Maybe fingertips connect to the back thigh. Using the breath to expand that front right side of the body. 3 rounds of breath. Take an inhale here. Lengthen the front side of the body with the inhale. Exhale, add your twist. Linking the elbow to the thigh or to the knee. Really expanding the full container of your torso with your breath. 3 more rounds. One more inhale. Exhale, unwind. Touch your mat. Slide your left hip back. Right, incorporating that flow before we settle into the shape. Inhale to step into the front foot. Pelvis presses down. Exhale, slide it back, maybe lifting your toes. Inhale, come back forward. Exhale, slide it back. Right, seeing if you can even out that left hip point with the right, maybe flexing that left foot. You can take an inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, bowing towards those left toes. 3 rounds of breath. Next inhale, we'll step back into that left foot. Back to a low lunge at the top of the mat. We'll heel toe that left foot towards the edge of the mat. We're going to place that left hand on the thigh or perhaps your knee. Inhale, roll to the blade edge of the foot. Right, aim your heart that same direction. Two more rounds of breath. Take an inhale. Exhale, come back to the sole of the foot. Hinge the back knee. Right, we're going to place that left hand inside of the left foot. Make any adjustments here. That left foot may want to heel toe a little closer to the right. Right, if you prefer this palm, instead you could have your elbow on your thigh here. Right, but I'm going to have my palm to my mat. You could also have a block. With an inhale, sweep your right arm towards that left toe. Open your heart back to the sky. Mini side angle. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, take the hand behind the neck. Inhale, lift the elbow closer to the sky. Exhale to round it in towards your mat. Inhale, elbow to the sky. Exhale towards the earth. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, elbow to the sky. Exhale, straighten it. Take another inhale here. Exhale, take the arm beside the ear. Inhale to windmill your arms back to the top of your mat, taking the toes back to that long side edge of your mat. Modified side plank here. Nice strong core. On an inhale, rainbow the arms to your gate pose. Left hand rests gently on the left leg. Right arm is beside that right ear, palm is facing down. 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale to make our way back to the top of our mat. Again, feel free to just stay in this modified side plank. You could choose to work on balance by floating the leg. Right, if you're going to add that back bend, you'll bend the top knee. Maybe you find a bind with the foot or the ankle. If so, you're going to press the foot into the hand. Take an inhale. Exhale, gently release. Scoring yourself back to the top of your mat. Maybe you find that a final round of cat-cows or moving your spine can feel good. You might rest in child's pose just like we began. Again, 3 to 5 rounds of breath. And then completing your practice in Shavasana. You might choose to set a timer here, resting in your corpse pose for at least 3 minutes. Feel free to stay on your back. Continue to rest. I hope that you've enjoyed this practice. I hope you feel more calm, more present, more peace. I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to add a comment. Let me know what you think. Have a lovely rest of your day. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.